Alright, hello. Desperately Seeking Susan again. As I said, I've got a ton of stuff to get through with this Desperately Seeking Susan. You're going to have to forgive me because some of this stuff is going to be... I'm not going to actually explain too much the overlaps. We're just going to jump into a decode with it, and what you'll find is that some of this stuff decodes into other films as well. So I'm not always going to point out the connection, so to speak, because there's way too much to point. There's so many connections. I'd just be sitting for a whole hour or two every time I did a video if I was going to point out every little connection back to all the other videos that I've done. Anyway, is Madonna going to die? As she represents the sort of the corrupted Virgin Mary type situation right now. Is she going to die again with this idea of the rebirth of Trump, the one, as that archetype is projected onto everybody, that Donald Trump is the savior, which in my eyes is a little ominous because, the savior is the one that actually takes down the system, actually destroys the system, okay? And we are collectively as a nation in an extremely corrupted system, okay? Again, very ominous, the idea that that system has to be destroyed in order for something new to spring from that, that's a little bit closer to something resembling balance or purity. Anyway, as you know, I've been talking about this film Desperately Seeking Susan, and there's just so many connections with it. One of them being, and I should have probably put this in the last decode I did on the dollar bill, is the fact that in the film there is this symbolism. There's also the earring that is Egyptian, and there's also this pyramid as well, and this is of course the pyramid of the all-seeing eye on the back of the dollar bill, the Eye of Providence, okay? And what you'll notice about it though is in the film it's golden, okay? And of course, as you put this as you look at this triangular pyramid form, this is the upward arrow, this is phallic symbolism, okay? Phallic symbolism. So this is the idea of, I guess you could call it the physical world. This gold here, but it also connects back with Osiris and that phallic symbol, that the phallus that was fashioned from gold. The missing piece of the puzzle, so to speak. Was it eaten by a fish, or was it? Or you know what I mean? And the fish being the Vesica Pisces, okay, the female genitalia. So what we've got going on in the film is a resurrection of this thing, okay? Madonna starts off, Madonna's birthday obviously encodes, is to do with the golden ratio, okay, which is phi, P-H-I, phi, and that ratio is interwoven in everything physical in the world, okay? So you can see it everywhere you look. You look at the patterns of petals on leaves and stuff like that, snail shells, all that good stuff, okay? The way water flows down a river, all to do with phi, okay? And so Madonna gives us this representation of the physical. I want to say she's not. She's still the feminine, but the physical format of that, okay? And then what we have with the other party that's in the film, which is Rosanna Arquette, let's go back to this, is we have this is the more metaphysical version of that. And so the film is about those two, these twins, essentially, there's a twinism there, coming back together, reuniting, okay, coming home back to one another, coming home to one another, okay? And you'll notice that She's playing Roberta Glass in the film. Rosanna is, and again, that is a reference to the sort of the more metaphysical side of reality. Okay, I know they're both female. Okay, but Madonna is representing a more sort of masculine side of reality, while Rosanna is doing the more metaphysical side of reality. Notice the green socks here. Notice what happens is this gold jacket starts off with Madonna, flips to the metaphysical, the make-believe world, if you like, or at least places where we can have imagination, fictional ideas. And that's what's happened with money. It's flipped from the gold standard into fiat currency, okay, that doesn't have any value now, okay. It's basically worth a little bit of paper that's on. So you could probably liken it to, I don't even think it's even got the same value as toilet paper, because I don't think it'd be that comfortable using dollar bills to wipe your butt. But anyway, but that's basically the value of it, 0. Okay, that has to flip back again. And when we're looking at what Donald Trump's been doing lately with this whole thing of stable coin and all this nonsense, okay, I believe it's just a reference to what has to happen to it's the idea of flipping the dollar bill back to gold. Okay, so they're doing it through the idea of cryptocurrency, but is there a story there telling us that gold is become king again? Okay, and in order for that to happen, the dollar's just got to go. It's going to disappear completely, because that's what happens essentially when you enter into the metaphysical realm without any, without keeping checks and balances. What happens is you basically disappear off into oblivion. Okay, and this is what's essentially going to happen to the dollar bill. It's just going to disappear completely. Okay, so anybody that's holding dollar bills, they're not going to be worth anything. Yeah, it's going to disappear. It's going to go completely to 0. Okay, that's some metaphorically speaking. Anyway, this film, the release date. We're going to look at the release date and how it connects back with Donald Trump, and we're going to look at something else interesting with the film to do with Madonna, of course, and that is the music for the film and how that connects back with Donald Trump. So the first thing is, let's just take a quick look at, in fact, this is the start of the music video, Into the Groove. Okay, they end up using this for the film, and again, here's the jacket. We've got Madonna's face on the back of it here, and I believe that is what's her name wearing it there, Rosanna. But anyway, you can go through this, and it's basically just little clips out of the film in the music video. Now, let's do the number jump from when the film is released. 4/12. Obviously, it's a reverse Queen's birthday. If you read the date backwards, you can get 4/21, which ties it back in with 9/11. This number has shown up a hell of a lot, but just the 4/12 or the 40/12 or I've got a lot of number jumps connecting to this number. But anyway, if we take this now from the release of the film, notice it comes out in the same year as Back to the Future as well. Go through to the 8/20 date, when I think she's probably going to go off to the island with Bowie and Ozzy and the rest of them, and Kobe, and they'll be sitting down drinking a pina colada, watching us guys going absolutely batshit crazy. We've got a number jump here. So here's the number jump: 14741, palindromic again. The idea of balance, symmetry. That's what's so important about a palindromic number. And look at the number that we've got, with Donald Trump being the 47th president now. Okay, let's unclick that. No, I didn't want to unclick that. What was I going to do there? No, it's the next one I want to unclick. Okay, so anyway, blooming hell, Dan, come on, pull it together, mate. So the 147, again, this is super duper interesting, with references back to Paris and Princess Diana. We'll tie back in the next video with Princess Diana. And again, this is Bastille Day in France. Okay, so this is French Independence Day as well. Notice they managed to choose the very similar numbers for America and France. Okay, let's do now what we want to do is we want to do the release of the music video, or not the music video, the actual song, which is, well, we can go down and have a quick look at it. Let's drop, let's see, where is it? Right at the bottom of here somewhere, isn't it? What's that? Oh, hang on. Well, oh dear, Dan, come on, soundtrack, here we go. So here it is, Into the Groove. Here's our release date. That's kind of interesting that they don't have the, let's just drop down here a minute and just see if we can find the, I don't know what the runtime on that was. 443, 443, 443. They're liking the 443 on this. Okay. Again, that's interesting. It kind of ties in with another video that I've yet to do. But anyway, sorry, getting sidetracked. Into the Groove release date, July the 15th. Okay, which is, we had this numerology showing up with Crystal Palace just recently. Okay, and that tied in very nicely with Guy Ritchie, Madonna's ex-husband, and I still got more stuff to do with him and some films with him as well. So anyway, July 15th, 85. Let's look at the number jump for that. July 15th, 85 through to this 8/20 date. It is Donald Trump's birthday perfectly. Okay, the 14th of June, 1946. Okay, so that was really, like, I was like, oh goodness, when I saw that, I was like, oh. Also, you can click off, that was what I was thinking of, you can click that on or off, and you're going to still get Donald Trump's birthday and the 47th president. Okay, and this 47 to do with independence. Again, what Madonna represents right now, rather than the Virgin Mary, is the corrupted version of that. If you look at the way she dresses, look at what she's projecting into the world, she's projecting that old crony, controlling version of the Matrix, not the divine version of it. And so that's what has to die. That's essentially the tomb that we're in, that we have to come out of. So of course, this idea of Donald Trump, his birthday tying in with a potential death date for Madonna would be huge. Okay, so this 8/20, and we can talk about the 82 references with Donald Trump on the podium. He had his 82 text 82, whatever it was, 88/22. What is fascinating about this date of the 1st of September for stuff to happen with the Hoover Dam, which is Labor Day, is that, and obviously I think right now there's something to do with him firing somebody with the Labour report or something. I haven't even had time to look into most of these stories that are in the news right now. But Labor Day obviously is our date right now coming up for the Hoover Dam, but in 2028, so the 82 again, 28, Donald Trump will be 82 years, 82 days, I believe, old on the 4th of September, 4/9, and that will be Labor Day that year as well. Okay, and he will be something like, I can't remember what the number jump is, but it's something like 30,330 days old. It's something like that. It's a 333 numerology. So it's super fascinating. The connection with Labour, and obviously Donald Trump having the whole thing with firing people. Yeah. To do with Labour, to do with people working for you. Anyway, the 82 obviously also shows up if you watch Decoding with Cody, with the end of the line stuff that he was talking about with this thing, with the Super Bowl, that's going to be obviously the Levi Stadium. You can get the 501 from that, which again, 501 ties back from 9/11 to Christmas, 105 days. It also ties with what was I going to say? It ties with the first May Day, the 1st of May, which is the twin date for 9/1. Okay, and don't forget, for that number jump from 9/11 to Christmas, you can also do 106. Okay, so the 16 is also really important with that idea as well, which is again with Madonna's birthday numbers. This thing's going to be, so the Super Bowl is going to be in Santa Clara, and obviously Clara Clayton in Back to the Future, super duper important, because of course she's in the final episode of Back to the Future, number 3. Again, where they're ending up is at the end of the line, San Francisco, and again, this thing's going to be held on 2/8 yet again, and her birthday, Mary Steinbergen, I don't know how you actually say that, is 2/8. And if you notice, she's married to Ted Danson. In the film, the dude is Jimmy. Madonna's boyfriend in the film is Jimmy. I think it's Jimmy Dandy. Okay, so he's got the Dan in his name, which is kind of interesting as well. Especially with the ideas of the flood references and all that. Apocalypse, that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this one. We'll start on the. I got another one. I'll probably just do it here real quick in a minute. I've got to go do some other bits and pieces, but yeah. Let's leave that one there for now. The 8-2, the 28 references, super duper important. And I would just say one thing, that 22, that there's 2 sets of twins. There's actually 3 sets of twins, okay, in all the different cycles that we have, that I look at, right? The Fibonacci cycle, the Lucas cycle, and what I call the pi cycle. Those are the holy trinity of cycles. And Fibonacci is all to do with 9/11, and the 11 and the 88 are those twins. And in Lucas numbers, which is got a lot of references back to Pluto, and it's got all the 47s. It's got a lot of 47s. The 8/11 stuff. It's got a whole. There's just a whole bunch of interconnectivity here, but it is the 2/2 and 7/7 is the twins in that one. So the importance of Ozzy with the 722. Right now she's 72 years old, and the 2 and the 8 could be looked at this crossover between those 2 cycles, 9/11 and Lucas numbers with the 22 in it. Okay, I know that probably doesn't make much sense to most people, but if you've been following the channel for some time now, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm going to say cheerio for now. Okay. God bless, and I will catch you on another one soon. Alright, cheers. Bye.